Institute. 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 Let's break down the word institute. So, institute is a noun, specifically an uncountable one, which means it can't be pluralized like some other nouns. And we use it to talk about institutions, organizations, or places that have a specific purpose or function. In common usage, you'll see institute used in phrases like a research institute, a language institute, or the Red Cross Institute, where the focus is on the organization's role or area of expertise. One special note to keep in mind is that when using this word, we often use it with a definite article, the, before the noun. For example, the institute will be hosting a conference next week, and it usually functions as the main topic of the sentence, making it easy to identify its importance in the context. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word institute. Formal usage. The university will institute a new policy to promote diversity and inclusion on campus, starting from next semester. In this sentence, the word institute is used in a formal context to convey that an official decision or procedure has been put into place. Context. A university president announces a new policy to be implemented across the entire institution. Casual conversation usage. I think I'll institute a no phone zone at our next dinner party. It's just getting too distracting. In this sentence, the word institute is used in an informal context to mean starting or establishing something, like a new rule. Context. A friend suggests a fun and relaxed activity with friends. Business or academic usage. The Research Institute has been studying the impact of climate change on local ecosystems for 5 years. In this sentence, the word institute is used in an academic or professional context to refer to an organization or establishment that conducts research. Context. A colleague discusses their work at a research center focused on environmental issues. These examples demonstrate how the word institute can be used in different contexts, from formal announcements to casual conversations and professional settings. So you want to know what an organization that focuses on research and education in a specific field is called? Okay. Let me explain. A place like this usually has experts who study and teach about a particular subject, like science, language, or culture. They often provide training and resources for people who work with that subject, and sometimes even set standards or guidelines for it. Some examples of places like this might be a language center, a cultural academy, or a research facility. They all have similar goals and functions. When people think of these kinds of organizations, they often associate them with learning, growing, and improving in their chosen field. Does that make sense? Invest. 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 Let's talk about the verb invest. So, the part of speech is a verb, which means it's an action word that tells us what someone is doing. In common usage, invest can mean to put money into something with the goal of making a profit, like buying stocks or bonds. It can also mean to spend time, effort, or resources on something in order to make it better, such as investing in education or training. What's really interesting about invest is that it has a slightly different connotation depending on whether you're talking about money or other things. When we talk about investing our emotions or energy into something, it often implies a deeper level of commitment and enthusiasm. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word invest with their respective contexts. I'm thinking of investing in a piece of land for my future retirement home. It's a stable and secure asset that will likely appreciate in value over time, said Sarah to her friend Emily. In this context, the formal usage is suitable for a casual conversation between friends, where Sarah is sharing her thoughts on a personal investment decision. At the company's annual meeting, the CEO proudly announced that they had invested heavily in renewable energy sources and had seen significant returns on their investment, citing it as one of the key drivers of their recent growth. Here, the business or academic usage is fitting for an official corporate announcement, where technical terms like renewable energy sources are used to convey a sense of professionalism. As I was discussing my financial plan with my advisor, she advised me to invest in a diversified portfolio to minimize risk and maximize returns. It's not always easy to decide how much to put in, but she helped me make an informed decision. In this context, the casual conversation usage is suitable for a relaxed discussion between individuals on a personal finance matter, where a trusted advisor is offering guidance on investment strategies. So you want to know what invest means? Well, basically, when you invest something, like money or time, into an activity, project, or business, you're putting it in with the intention of getting something valuable back, like profit, experience, or skills. It's kind of like planting a seed. You put something in the ground, and if everything goes well, you'll get a harvest later on. Main characteristics of investing are that it's usually done with a goal in mind, and there's some level of risk involved, but people do it because they think it will pay off in the long run. If you're thinking about putting money into stocks or real estate, for example, that's also called investing. Same idea. What it does or how it's used is pretty straightforward. It helps grow your resources, whether financial or otherwise, and can even help you learn new things as a side effect. Items. 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 Let's talk about the word items. So, items is a noun, and it refers to individual things that are being counted or listed, like objects, goods, or products. In common usage, you'll often see items used in situations where people are referring to multiple things at once, such as shopping lists, inventory counts, or even agenda items for meetings. For example, I need to pick up a few items from the grocery store. Or, the list of items to bring to the camping trip is really long. One special note about using items is that it's often used in formal or written language, like in business or academic contexts. So if you're writing an email or report and need to mention multiple things, items can be a useful word to know. Here are 3 example sentences using the word items with different contexts. I'm writing to inform you that the shipping company has delivered all of the essential items we requested for our office renovation, including new furniture and equipment. This sentence is an example of formal usage. It's a polite and professional message written in a business or academic setting. In contrast, when asking a friend if they've got any space left in their apartment to store some extra stuff, you might say, "Do you have room for these items?" This sentence is a casual conversation usage. It's an informal way of asking someone if they can fit something else into their home. Academics and researchers often use the term research items or data items when discussing statistical analysis. For instance, in a report on data quality, you might state that there were some discrepancies found among certain data items, which required further investigation to resolve. This sentence is an example of business or academic usage. It's a technical and specialized context where the word items takes on a very specific meaning. So you're trying to understand what we mean by things that you can hold in your hand and use for specific purposes? In simple terms, these are small objects that serve a particular function, like a pen that helps you write or a key that unlocks doors. They often have a distinct shape and design, making them easy to recognize. And sometimes they come with instructions on how to use them properly. You might find similar concepts referred to as tools or gadgets in different contexts. But essentially, they're all about providing a convenient way to accomplish something.